Welcome back, everybody. It's episode 3. Today, we are going to be starting a big project, finally. I'm hoping we can get it all done in this one episode, but we might have to split it up into 2. The plan is to build our villager trading hall, and it's also going to house some farms underneath it, some useful farms that we can use for trading, like maybe some sticks, I might put the iron farm underneath it, and try and have everything kind of flowing up into the trading hall so that we can just grab stuff out of chests for trading, our iron ingots, our sticks, whatever else. I have to kind of look into what we're going to do exactly for the trading a little bit. I already went and gathered all of our materials in these chests here, so we're pretty much ready to go. We just need to level out the terrain a little bit so we have somewhere to start building. And then we're going to start doing some terraforming. I'm going to build a big rock formation that the building's going to sit on top of. And then I think we're going to get the building in so that we can start putting some villagers in there and do a few trades just to get some better tools, get mending on everything and efficiency and all that kind of stuff. We also got super lucky when we were gathering all the blackstone. The very first bastion that we found had a netherite upgrade template in it. So once we get some better enchanted tools and stuff, I can start getting some netherite going. I did get one netherite ingot from a chest as well, so very exciting, very exciting. So as you can see, I went ahead and dug all this out. Now we got a nice big flat space here to work with, and we're gonna start just putting in the foundations. This is kind of my first time doing like any substantial terraforming, especially that involves more than just like raising and lowering like the grass level and like working with the grass like that. Like this is going to be not made out of grass, and it's not going to look like natural Minecraft generation. Normally that's what I've done, is just try to kind of like change the shape of the world without making it too obvious that it was not just like naturally generated. So the plan for this is to do like a big rock that the building sits on. So we're going to use a few different types of blocks. We're going to use tough at the top is going to be kind of like the main block, but then as it comes down, we're going to start using deep slate, some basalt, and then blackstone at the bottom just to give it some shadowing. We might even use some coal blocks for the like darkest spots. Yeah, I'm going to try and kind of toggle shaders on and off to try and make sure that this thing looks good even without shaders, because yeah, it's fun to try and do the shadowing manually, and then when you turn the shaders on, it looks just so much better. So I got most of the front done. You can kind of see how the shading's gonna work. I've got the coal down in the very darkest spots there. And yeah, I think it really adds a lot. It just kind of looks like the blackstone, but like as if it had more shade on it. So I'm pretty happy with how that looks. And then when you turn the shaders on, it just looks even better. There's a little bit choppy, just some of the shapes going on there, but we'll work on that as we go. I managed to come up with a little basalt generator. It works pretty good. It's pretty slow though, and if you move your mouse, that happens, so gotta be careful. So we've got the general rock formation in here. There's definitely a lot of like detailing left to be done and some adjustments to the shape and stuff, but I want to kind of get the building in first, I think, so we have more of a general idea of what it's going to look like before we do too much like finalization. But I think it's going to look pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Up close, there's definitely some flaws that need to be worked out, but like you can see, the transitions between blocks are very sharp, and we don't want that. We're also gonna switch out a bunch of the blocks. Like some of the tough is gonna be things like dead coral or pale moss probably, and then we'll switch out some of the deep slate for stuff like cobbled deep slate, and just to make it look less uniform and have it be a little bit smoother. But before we get to all that, I think we're gonna put the building in. You can see I left like where the dirt is. That's the footprint of the building. So I want to get that in so we can kind of see what this is going to look like all together first, and then we'll move on to more of the final details. So let's get to it. Floor, walls, So I went and plotted out kind of just like a general sketch of what the interior could look like. I want to have all the enchantments kind of segmented into different areas. So like there'll be a room for the sword, one for the bow, and then one for like general stuff like mending, unbreaking. I made like a patterned floor, but then I ended up covering up all of it with the walls and stuff. So it looks kind of weird right now. I'm gonna have to go back and redo that. And then also just the general block palette, I'm not super happy with. It's way too much deep slate brick. I think we're definitely gonna be breaking that up and like adding some more details. When you turn the shaders off, it looks absolutely horrendous, I think. So I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating, but I'm definitely not happy with it, so we'll have to redo it. But I really just wanted to get something in so we could start putting some villagers in here. I mean, I guess I could have just done the thing where you just put them all in a big hole and just trade with them in there, but I hate having to like go and talk to every single one to figure out where your books are. So we're just gonna do it this way, and then we'll come back to it and we'll make it look pretty afterwards. I noticed that I think because of the roof being made out of slabs, the rain is just coming through, which is kind of funny, but I think I might leave it. Kind of fits the vibe. Anyways, time to place 1,000,000 lecterns. 25. It's good enough. So we did a couple hours of going through lecterns, trying to get some good trades. We got most of the good stuff like silk touch, protection, unbreaking, mending, efficiency, fortune. We got looting, couple and bow enchantments. So I think that's gonna be good enough for now. I don't want to sit here all day doing it. We'll do it in pieces. So I'm getting dangerously low on rockets. I think I have exactly 1 gunpowder left. So I think we're gonna make a creeper farm. I also want to do the Enderman farm. I might do that first. Because, yeah, sitting at the skeleton spawner trying to repair stuff is pretty annoying. It's very slow. I said that I was going to try and do all of the farms myself, which I'm going to try to do as much as possible. I did try to make an Enderman farm, but it was super slow. I don't think it was any faster than just the skeleton spawner. So this one I am going to look up. I'll let you know whose farm I steal. I'll put a link in the caption, and if you want to build it yourself. But yeah, I just kind of came to the realization that certain things it's not worth spending all my time on. Like it would have taken me days probably to figure out something that was even worth building. I'll just focus on. I'll do the simpler stuff like creeper farm. Creeper farm I can do. That I can do. I mean, I've already built one. I've built other people's ones before, so it's not like it's entirely original, but we'll be ironing out all the kinks ourselves. Alright, so just hopped over to Creative World. I think well, this is a copy of the other world, just in Creative. I think we're gonna do it over this island, because it'll be an easier place to start than in the middle of the ocean, and then we'll just get rid of all these blocks at the end. I think this should be far enough away from anything. And let's see if I remember how to do this. I don't know how high we need to be. I'm just gonna eyeball it and see how it goes. Let's go up to 200. So since we got that Enderman farm going, we're not gonna need this for XP at all, so I think we're just gonna end up dropping them to their deaths. We don't need to hit them with a sword. You do get more gunpowder if you use like a looting sword to kill them at the end, but I want this to be an AFK farm, I think, so it's not really going to be necessary. We're going to get more if we just AFK here for hours than we would just sitting there with a sword killing them. I think here we want water. We need water to push them in, and then we do the spawning platforms on top. Okay, so just checking that this works. Yep, they fall down there. If you're ever doing something like this, make sure you turn off mob griefing with commands. I made the mistake of not doing that, and we had you get some explosions. So for this, I just googled the radius where the snow golem will shoot at the creepers, and I just made a big circle around it, and yeah, that's about it. I googled, can spiders spawn on carpet, and AI overview says yes, spiders can spawn on carpet in real life, but in the game Minecraft, carpets are used specifically to prevent spiders from spawning. I guess a baby zombie could still spawn in here, but I feel like they're uncommon enough that it's not really gonna affect the mob count too much. I don't know, we'll see. Well, it appears to be working. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're getting anything other than creepers spawning in here, so that's good. The carpets, I think, are right. We haven't had any explosions in a while, so I think moving these corners back one further than we had them before helped. And then there's a few creepers down at the bottom, but I think I moved the platform up. I think these were already down there before I moved it. moved it, so I think we're good. Yeah, they all seem to be dying. So after about 2-3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, perhaps even 5 minutes, I haven't really been counting, we got like 2.5 stacks, so that's pretty good. You know, we could leave this, go make dinner, come back in an hour, and I'd say the chest would be full, probably overflowing actually, so yeah, I'm happy with that. We don't want this. Wait. Just a little bit more. Just a few more. Yeah, just a couple more here. Yeah, just a couple more. Almost enough. We just need a couple more here. Yeah, just a couple more. Oh yeah, let's get some in this guy too. Yeah, that's kind of cool. You can paint. All right, let's go build this for real. So we're gonna need a ton of wool. I wish I'd set up my sheep farm earlier, but I didn't, so that's okay. I'll probably just do that, and then I'll set up a chunk loader so it'll keep going while we're collecting the rest of the materials for the farm. I finally learned how target blocks work, and now I can't stop using them and everything. They're so fun. Even when they're not necessary, I'm still like, I'll put a target block in there whenever you can. They're so cool. I love the way they look, just like in farms. Yeah, that sounds right. So I set up one of those ender pearl chambers. I want to do a lot of stuff with ender pearls in this world. I've never really used them before, but they're super cool. They're like teleporting systems that people are doing are sweet. Now I just gotta go find a forest to demolish. Cinema. Alright, that didn't actually take too long. We got a full shulker, a little bit more in the inventory. Now we just need to go find a block to build with. Maybe, I think probably stone, just because we can mine it super quickly compared to like deep slate or whatever. Maybe we'll do stone bricks or something, I don't know. So I learned a valuable lesson. Replay mod does not play well with super long files. This was over 2 hours long and I cannot get it to open for the life of me. But the creeper farm is built. I brought enough stuff to make 4 layers. I ended up just doing 2 because I've been doing farms all day. I did the Enderman farm and then designing the creeper farm and doing the villager trader. I got a little bit worn out and it's going pretty quick. Got like 6 stacks of rockets and I was only standing here for, I don't know how long, but not very long. So if we ever need a whole bunch at once, we can come back and just finish building it, but I'm pretty happy with it for now. So now that we got our rocket supply all sorted, it's going to be a lot easier to gather materials and also just to build, to getting up and down if we're building up high and stuff. The one thing we are still going to need is a lot more shulker boxes. Shulker boxes. So I'm going to go and gather a bunch of those, I think, right now, and maybe see if we can get some better, tools, armor. I've got a few good things, but, my shovel needs to be better, and I need a pair of leggings. I'm really hoping I can find a pair of leggings. But before we do that, I wanted to kind of share what the plan is. I was looking at this villager trader, looking at specifically like the rock formation underneath it, and well, the building itself gave me kind of an idea. It kind of reminds me of like an octopus. I think it's like the way the roof comes up kind of looks like the head of an octopus. If they have heads, I don't know if they really have heads, but I don't know. You know what I mean? So I was thinking we could make it, you can see I already started plotting one out so that there's like a bunch of like almost fossilized tentacles, stonified. I don't know what you would say. But yeah, I think it would look cool. The only thing I'm now worrying about is that it's kind of such a strong thematic vibe we got going on with this trading hall that I think now like the barn, especially the barn, but also the villager breeder don't necessarily fit the vibe as well. So I think we're gonna have to move them somewhere. But that's okay. It didn't take too long. And now that we have all the materials, we can just dismantle it and build it somewhere else. But yeah, I was thinking at the back we could have the tentacles like kind of like they're coming out of the pond, almost like the building crawled out of the pond and like solidified up on the hill here. It's always good to add some backstory, add some lore as you go, just to give the buildings a little bit more of a reason, and then it also helps you, come up with new ideas for what to build and keep you interested in the game. So yeah, I'm gonna go grab some shulkers, and then we'll come back and get back to building. So we already looted that one the first time we were here, but I just realized there's another one behind us. So we're gonna go check that out. I'll take it. I suck at parkour. Who needs parkour when you're flying? Third time's the charm. Ah! Nailed it. Whoa. Uh-oh. Okay, that's too many. Oh, that's too many. We gotta get some of these guys out of here. It's getting pretty dangerous. Never stood a chance. They never stood a chance. Alright, come on, number 3. Give me a sword. Not a sword. I did want leggings, but not that kind. Respiration 3, Aqua Affinity, not bad. Don't love... oh, come on. Don't love blast protection. I don't know if looting works on shulkers. I feel like I've been using that. I've killed a few with that looting 3 spear and it didn't seem to give me anything. I do love this flying in, like flying down with the spear. Like this. Charging things. Because I would always do that with my sword. Like try and fly in and hit stuff. It's so satisfying. But it didn't actually do anything and it was so hard to actually hit stuff. So now I feel like it's giving me what I wanted. I'm just gonna keep flying for a bit and then we'll take the next portal out of here maybe. Maybe that's the plan, try and hit one more city. See if we can get a sword or some leggings that aren't bad. Come on. No, not smite. Oh, that was scary. Came back with 18 shulkers and a bunch of, well, 2 elytra, a bunch of armor that's not very good, some tools that aren't great either. We did get a pretty good shovel. I just need to put efficiency 4 on there to get efficiency 5. Now I want to do some terraforming, so we're going to need a bunch of moss. So I'm going to pop over to a creative world and figure out how to do that. So I think basically what we need to do is make a stone generator and then have it push out rows of stone that can then be turned into moss by bone mealing a piece of moss. So I think this works pretty well, having 2 rows of water on the sides, and then it'll be the lava in the middle. And then when the stone generates, it prevents it from touching the rest of the water and turning that into stone as well. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna try and rig it up so that there's a sticky piston underneath that pulls that layer of stone down, and then normal pistons on the side that push it out. And then I think we'll need dispensers up top like this, just to dispense lava for just long enough that they'll touch the water and turn it into stone, and then we want it to suck it back up. Alright, so this is working. Now we just need to make it so that every time the dispensers pick up the lava, that a signal gets sent out to tell the pistons to grab the stone and then push it out. So I found this little circuit that basically just, whenever it turns on, it'll send out a short pulse and then turn off again. And then with this comparator here, whenever the lava is not in the dispenser, the signal will go down to 1 and it won't reach that first repeater. So it'll basically just send out a short pulse every time it picks up the lava. And that will first tell the sticky pistons on the bottom to extend and retract, bringing the stone layer down. And then there's a slight delay on the pistons on the side that will push it forward. Oh my goodness. There's no way. It's working. Yo, I can't believe it. Okay, so now we need to make the thing that's gonna moss this platform that comes out of here. And we need a way to collect it. So I don't know how that works, but this is a good start. Wow, I'm so happy. Alright, so now coming off of this same clock, I basically did the same thing, the same circuit that turns it into a pulse, that activates the bone meal, turning everything into moss, and then on another delay, it activates a piston that clears the top off. Because I learned if there's anything on top of the moss, you can't bone meal it, so you need to clear it off every time. Now we just need to set up some dispensers with water buckets that will clear off the top of the platform every time. And I think I can just link those up with an observer looking at the piston, because that'll give us 2 pulses, one when it extends and one when it retracts. And that will tell the dispensers first to dispense the water and then pick it back up afterwards. Doesn't seem to want to get these middle ones. And this isn't long enough. So I added this comparator pulse extender, which solved the problem of the water not getting all the way across and getting rid of all the carpets and stuff on top. But now the issue is that the water is still on top of the moss when the bone meal goes the next time. So I think we're gonna have to just put dispensers on both sides and have like the water only go halfway and be picked up quicker. Yeah, that did the trick. We're not getting any extra bits of stone coming out the end, which is good. Now we just need to make a collection system. I'm just gonna put, I think, hoppers with minecarts and have it just go around and collect everything. And then I also want to have a filtering system where all the moss goes into one chest and all the extra foliage just gets auto-crafted back into bone meal and sent back up into the dispenser. It's mesmerizing. Can't stop looking at it. So we've got our auto-composting system here. I think when I build it for real, I will build it with a water column instead of a dropper elevator because it's pretty expensive and unnecessary. Don't need all of these hoppers and such. It's not really anywhere near being self-sustaining in terms of bone meal, so I think I will end up building underneath a skeleton spawner and just having that feed it. So I'm going to start digging out a bunch of space under this thing. I don't think you guys need to watch me build it again, so I'll probably just take care of that and get a bunch of moss ready, and then in the next episode we can keep going with the terraforming. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. That's awesome. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to follow along. And I hope you have a good week, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.